Thanks for joining everyone in session number 217. I'm very, very happy to meet Joyful Jagadish sir, DTM Toastmaster from Bangalore. This is second time as a guest for Sunday meeting. We all know the potentiality, the talent, the energy, the wisdom, the experience, and everything about Jagadish sir. He is one of our family members, community members of SGF. The topic itself is very helpful to all aspirants. Communication for your growth. So I feel very happy to see him as a guest for today's meeting. I'm requesting all the participants join your hands by giving a big round of applause to invite as a guest for today's meeting, Mr. Jagadish sir. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for that wonderful words. It means a lot to be part of sharEvery forum. My topic is communication for our growth. It is said the communication is important. Communication is to hear what is not said. That's the power of communication. A lot of us have effective communication, but most of the time we fail what is not said. If we capture that, that's where we make a difference in our life. Let's understand first what is communication. What is communication is, if I communicate, there are two people are there. One sends, another one receives it. Are they doing the same thing, what they intend to do it? Most often, it never happens. I send, but the person who receives it never receives the same way what I send. That's where the real communication gap arises. If you see communication, there are three major parts. First one is oral communication, which is verbal also. We are doing it right now. This is verbal communication where we speak. Next is non-verbal. I don't know how many of you are really seeing my hand gestures, my facial expressions as I speak, the eye contact, what I have with each one of you, they all come under non-verbal communication. And the third one is written communication, where we get from WhatsApp from our coach Ram Babu sends messages, please come. That's a written communication. Even others also do it. So we know there are three communications, majoritarily verbal, non-verbal, and written communication. Now we know what is the communication. Now what are the barriers we have? In my opinion, there could be many barriers. To say in this forum, I would say first and foremost is language barrier. I want to communicate. Now we have people from 35 countries. Definitely language barrier is there. Not only outside the country, within the country, we are per se. We have so many languages. So language becomes a big barrier for communications. So a person who receives, who sends, should know the language. Only then it will be a purposeful communication. Otherwise, there is a barrier, which we need to work on that. Next is territorial barrier. For example, in India, right now, it is evening 8:20, whereas in US, it's morning 8:40, 8:50. So there's a territorial barrier. I can't say good morning. She'll say, no, it is good evening. So there is a territorial barrier. Then major one, third one, in my opinion, is emotional barrier. Emotion includes both angry, sad, happiness, joy. Emotions are many. When I'm in joy, the way I communicate is different from a person who's not joyful, who's sad. So you have to understand the emotion between the parties as we communicate. For example, you go to a birthday party. I'm sure people will be happy there. You have to be there with more of energy, bubbling with joy and happiness. Share good messages there. Same thing, for example, someone passed away. You go at that function. You have the same energy there. People will think that we are mad. So you have to know the emotions. Or, for example, you've been called for an interview. You should be professional there. You can be playful there. I know you're meant, you maybe, me, I'm so bubbling with joy. I want to be very creative, but I can't be creative there. Their professionalism comes in. As to understand the environment where we are. Very, very important so that we become very good communicator. So now we saw 3 communication forms, then we saw 3 barriers. Before we get on to that, I would like to share 5 strategies for effective communication for our growth, which I'll be explaining it to you after a small story. How many of you like stories? Every one of us. I know, even we have kids, but still we are kids in ourselves. Story means we love it, we like it, because that's going to be there in our memory for a longer time. So you might have seen this story, heard the story earlier, but even then, maybe you can hear once again. 2 people in the school, their names are John and Jimmy. John was very, very studious. He used to excel in studies. I can also say he's a bookworm. He will just read whatever's there, line by line, para by para, page by page. You would wake him up at 12 o'clock in the night and tell him, John, what is page number 12 in the so-and-so book? He will say, yes, this is what it is. He is so good in studies. We have totally reverse Jimmy, who is very good, but not in studies, but in the way we live. He will be street smart, I would say. He's not good in studies, but he's very smarter. The way he communicates is much more smarter. As the day goes, John and Jimmy clear their exams, their schoolings, they go to college. As we all know, whatever we did in the school continues in the college also, most of the time. All right. So they also go to the college. They get on to various skills in the college, like public debates, other skills and all. They participate, then clear the exams also. Then campus recruitment happens there. There's another company comes in. They choose John and Jimmy for the interview. Now it's very, very important. John and Jimmy is being called for the interview. There are 3 rounds interview. The first round is open to both of them, wherein it is technical skills, what they check on the first round. As we know, John has been asked various questions on the subject. As expected, he really did well with his bookish knowledge, and he clears the first round. Jimmy comes, same thing, they ask him. He is not so good, as I said earlier, because of street smartness. He was not knowing what is there in the book, but he understood. He had a good communication skills. He presented it. He cleared the exam. Second round, both John and Jimmy come for the second round, wherein it is a group discussion. The group discussion, John, with his bookish knowledge, he could deliver a few things, but some he could not do well. Whereas Jimmy was doing really, really well in group discussion because he was extrovert, he was communicating from his heart. People love what you say from your heart than from your book. Somehow, both clear second round also. Third and final round is very, very important. Here what happens is there is a panel discussion from the experts from the company, and these two are sitting the other side. Here is a challenge. John could clear few questions, but not all. Whereas Jimmy could complete all with his communication skills. So the moral of the story is this: we might be good in our studies. There's nothing wrong about it. Until if you don't have good communication skills, we cannot grow in the outside world. That is why communication is very, very important. Not that I'm saying don't study, please study. That will help you to clear the exams. But if you want to upscale yourself wherever we are, we never know what is tomorrow. With our communication skills, with our attitude, we can change the world. World will receive us in a different way than not based on our studies. Today, Mr. Rambabu called me. He didn't know that what studies I did it. He called me because of my skill. Yes, he could communicate well. Let's call him. So the skill plays a vital role than our academic graduations, whatever we have. Right? Now, let's come back to that 5 things that I'm going to share it to you. What is going to make us grow from wherever we are to here? As we all know, this forum is meant for English. So I thought I'll take something from them, give it to you so that you remember for a longer time. Just remember the 5 vowels. A, E, I, O, U. So this is what I'm going to share today. Let's start from A. Acknowledge. First and foremost is you have to acknowledge before you communicate. What I meant by acknowledgement is listen. Listen carefully before you speak. Most of us today, when we are in the group or someone asks something, we don't even digest that. The spur of the minute, we just give something, then we realize, oh my God, this is not what she asked or what he asked. He asked something else, but I took it mistakenly. So it becomes very, very important. We have to acknowledge the other person, what he is seeing or she's saying it. The minute we acknowledge, other person is more comfortable. The communication goes to a different level altogether. How many of us really listen carefully? I'm not saying that we don't, we do, but most of the time, maybe in our professional hurriness or with other things, we try not to hear the other person. So, acknowledgement is very, very important for a communicate, for your growth. Right? Now let's see about E. E is eye contact. If you communicate, you should have an eye contact with the other person whom you communicate. Then you know whether he's saying truth or a lie. I do not know the Western countries, at least in this part of India, we say, if someone says something, can you tell me the same thing, seeing my eye? Which means that he will not lie when he sees our eyes. Similarly, when we communicate, we have to see the person, is he listening to you or not? That's why I ask all of you to come on a video so that I know whether you're looking at me or not. It becomes very easy for us to communicate when I look at your eyes and communicate. By which we also understand his emotional condition. If I don't see him, how can we understand the other person? So it will become very futile communication. Communication is to send something. If you don't see him or her, what are you going to communicate? Now we saw A, E, next is I. Intention. It's very important. What is that intention? Why you want to communicate? The intention behind the communication. For example, here I was called to talk on a subject called communication. I can't come here and talk about me being an advocate. I can't come and talk about the law. The intention of this program is not for law, for communication. And the intent could be many. It could be sub-intentions are, I should talk about what could inspire you. Or can I just inform you? Or the intent should be with emotion or not? Or is a technical presentation? What's the intent of communication? If you have the intent very clear, then we can communicate much better, right? For example, as a teacher, you're asked to talk about a grammar. You will go and talk about the grammar. That's information which you're going to share. Maybe a trainer is called to give a presentation on some particular program. It's a technical speech. The intention is to share the technical information, what she or he has it to the students. Within the family, father and a son or a daughter, their emotion comes into the picture. If daughter says, Papa, can I have this? To see her emotion, then say yes or no to it, so that you have a very good communication amongst the family members. So you have to know the intention before you communicate yourself. Then we have O, observe. Observe what? Many. Observe yourself first. What is your state of mind? If you are angry, you can't communicate. Don't communicate at that time because you are in anger. First, your state of mind is very, very important. Then, see your body language. Whether what you say, does your body also say the same thing or not? If not, align yourself. Right? Then, observe the people who are hearing you. Are they listening to you or not? They're not listening to you. Make an effort so that they observe you, they listen to you, and create that intent why you've been called for. Then, not only that, observe your tone. Can they hear you? Or are you too fast? Are you too slow? There are many things to observe in communication. I just said observe. We can speak for one day on that one word called observe in communication. It got so much thing to talk about it. If we don't observe ourselves, we will not do justice in communication. Use. You. A-E-I-O-U. Use whatever we said in the first four things. That is acknowledge, eye contact, intention, and observe. Only then we can do a very good communication. Here what I meant is, Not only this, whether you have a good grammar, do you have a pause where it's required? Are the people listening to you? Because if you're too fast, there are some people who can't really capture as you're saying so fast. Because it'll go on above the head, not in the head or to the head. So we have to be very, very careful in this. You use whatever you learn the other four things, so that it becomes much more powerful way of communication. So people should look out for you. I want to listen more from this particular person. In my opinion, just use this vowels so that you remember faster. Acknowledge, eye contact, intention, observe, and use all these four so that you will grow from wherever you are exponentially.